guys, welcome back to Raid News with Ash. Today in Raid Shadow Legends, we have, you guessed it, another Monday. That's 2 more Progressive Chance events, this time coinciding with the upcoming Clan vs. Clan that kicks off tomorrow, along with the first of these 2 events. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster of champions up for grabs this week. All right, so for Tuesday, November 4th, aka tomorrow, we have Admiral Black Tusk. Ooh, man, he's the Dwarf Unity champion. For me, he is a beast. I don't have him, but boy, do I want him, right? From a good faction and a really nice Unity champion. He's got the ally attack, the really good ally attack, as well as the really nice cleanse and all those Unity bonuses as well. So he is really good, but so is Oscarin the Defiler. Really one of the better ally attackers out there in the game. He's also a dwarf. So man, between Admiral and Oscarin, ooh, that's going to be a tough one. Obviously, these are all dwarves, as you guys can see. We have Uzel of the Jade. We have Newt. We have Granite Doorkeep. We have, for Voids, Arnorn the Shining, Acresia, and Tormund the Cold. Man, this is actually a really good roster of champions here, guys. Listen, I tell you this every time, and I'm going to continue saying it every news video, but you're very unlikely to actually get these champions. That being said, I'm not here to every single time call every single event, every single day bait to you guys. I really want to assess the champions, so hopefully you guys can respect that, because on these news videos, I do get comments about, like, why are you not coming down on Plarium for more bait events? And it's like, because I just want to talk about the champions, but, you know, disclaimer, you know, this is not a 2x event. You're very unlikely to actually get these champions. Okay, so looking at this roster, though, on Tuesday, man, ooh, I think personally, I think you always go for the Unity when given the choice. So I would go for Black Tusk, but Oscarin the Defiler is really, really nasty. Let me just quickly pull up his kit. So HellHades.com gives him a 4, but I think that is criminally underrated. This dude's really a monster, right? 50% chance to increase the cooldown of a random active skill on the target by 2 turns. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%. That's his A1, okay? Remove all buffs from all enemies on his A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. Decrease the turn meter of all enemies whose turn meter is lower than 50% by 20%, okay? If an enemy's turn meter is more than 50%, reduces it by 50% instead. And then, oh, by the way, has a 100% chance to place a stun on enemies whose turn meter is reduced to 50%. Whoa, that's nasty. AoE buff removal, stun, turn meter depletion on the 3-turn cooldown. And then, to death unsurrendered. We have a team up with all allies, and he is joining the attack with his A1, which is really good anyway, right? The allies joining the attack will use their default skills. Before attacking, place an increased attack and a shatter on all allies for 2 turns. Decrease the cooldown of all ally skills, except this champion by 1 turn if the target is killed. Man, that is nasty. That is nasty. To me, it's, you know, the 3rd best ally attack in the game, you know, maybe 4th, up there behind the Queen of Hearts and Lady Mikage, but really, really good, right, with the increased attack and shatter, really getting the most out of our damage dealers. And then Dark Whispers is passive. Allies inflict 20% more damage to enemies under stun debuffs. Active effect, whenever an ally is killed, instantly activates the Magics of Irith skill that is the AoE buff removal, right? So really love this dude, man. It's hard for me to not recommend him, even over Black Tusk. I think that he is one of the better and more underrated champions released in recent memory. All right, let's go to the Wednesday roster of champions. We have, it's going to be all about the Barbarians on Wednesday. We have Dune Lord Gregor. We have Thor Feyhammer. We have Dune Herald Zarias. We have Armand the Magnificent, Esme the Dancer, Odin Feyfather, Ursaga Warcaller, and Turvold. Well, I didn't really talk about the Voids here. I apologize. But like Arnorn is really good in the arena. Acresia is really good in PvE, and Tormund is kind of a dual utility champion. He's not as good as he once was in the arena, but still can do some nasty things with him, especially with the burner on the same team. Personally, I would not invest in Void Shards for any of these champions unless I was just sitting on my Mercy and sitting on a bunch of Void Shards. They're all really good. I would say like A+, but I don't think any of them will. Maybe Acresia in PvE. But I don't know. I don't know if I would just like wail out for those champions personally, okay, as an endgame player, right? And I have all of those champions as well. All right, Wednesdays. So this is, again, all about Barbarians. Start with the Voids this time. Odin is the clear standout here. Odin is a beast in PvE and PvP. He's got an enemy max HP ability. He's got the ability to revive, although conditional, on his A3. And he's got buff removal with a stun and a decreased defense. Come on. He also has one of the best auras, excuse me, in the game. It's for Void Affinity, 40% speed. You can use that in arena battles, so certainly it's more niche, but it's very powerful on a Void team. So I think that Odin is the best choice there. Turvold is still one of my favorite damage dealers, single target though. Talk about raw damage with no ignore defense in his kit at all from a single target damage dealer who still absolutely just blows you away in his raw damage. Nobody hits like Turvold, especially in PvE, although he's an underrated champion in PvP. That being said, he's lacking some of the mechanics that will, allow him to be meta right now. Ursuga is still a great kind of tanky debuffer as well. She's really solid, but she's not my favorite anymore, right? But that being said, you can definitely get utility out of her. She's not bad. Armans, if you don't have him, he's the dude to go for here, right? Because Armans is busted and broken still 2 years after his release in the game, right? He's just an absolute monster, a year and a half, whatever it's been. And then we have our Gregor. We have our Unity here. Dunelord Gregor is not bad, guys. He's got a Provoke on his A1 and AoE, decreased duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn, increased duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, and a shield. And he's got increased accuracy and increased attack on a 6-turn 4-town. When attacked on his passive, has a 20% chance of placing a Provoke debuff on the attacker per hit. It doesn't show his Unity skills here, unless I'm missing them on the website. But either way, I'm going to be real with you guys. Dunelord Gregor is not my favorite of the Unities out there. I would go, if I didn't have Armans, I would go for Armans over Dunelord. Now, Dune Herald, I think, is actually really, really good. I don't have either of these champions, by the way. Dune Herald Zarias. They give him a 4 overall grading. I think he's a bit better than that. He's got a debuff spread on his A1 and then a buff spread on his A2, right? He steals all buffs from a target, applies a buff spread after stealing buffs, right? Applying them to all allies, not just 1 or 2 random buffs, all buffs, and then plays a block buffs and a block active skills on the target. He also has intercept, a block debuffs, and an increased speed on a 3-turn cooldown on all allies. At the start of the round, plays an increased accuracy on all allies for 3 turns. Whenever a debuff on an enemy is removed, expires, or has its duration decreased, fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. So constant turn meter fill, increased speed, intercept, block debuffs. Intercept goes on 1 ally, block debuffs, and speed goes on all allies. But I really love that increased accuracy as well, especially if you're struggling to build your nukers, maybe in the arena or elsewhere with enough accuracy to still get their debuffs or whatever else they're bringing to the table. It's really nice to have that at the start of the turn, right? At the start of the round, rather. So really strong there. Overall, how are we gonna tier this out, right? Thor is an unbelievable damage dealer, especially if you're looking for a nice decreased speed and damage combo for the Hydra Clan boss, excuse me. Esme is actually really good as well. I love her A1. She's a unique champion. But I would go Armans, and then I would probably go Zarias or Gregor next. I'd probably go Gregor. Even though he's not the best Unity, he's still a Unity at the end of the day, right? And then I would go Thor and Zarias. So they're all really solid, then Esme last, I guess. But that's not a knock on Esme. It's just like these are really good Barbarian champions. So there we go, guys. That is all the news of the day. We also have the Fuel Titan event that kicks off today in-game. Upgrading champions and summoning your soul stones is how we get points for that Deck of Fate. I find it to be pretty rough. I opened like 40 or 50 Mortal Soul Stones this morning, and I turned over like 4 cards. So it's not the easiest one, but you're really just missing out mainly on relic materials. So it's not like it's not like Leonardo or something crazy like that. All right, guys, we're gonna end it there. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.